Rocks, it is time to do some sports with our guy, Pep. What's going on, Pep?
Hey guys, what is up? Good morning. Big news coming out from the Lakers last night. Maybe not a huge surprise because they did have such a subpar season, 33 wins, 49 losses, with a lot of talent on that team. But head coach Frank Vogel is out, and the Lakers will be on the hunt for a new head coach. 3 seasons with Frank Vogel, including a bubble NBA championship. But now they're on the market for a new head coach. Coach K's out there. I'm just saying that. I'm just putting it out there. But they do need a new head coach right now in LA.
That is funny.
That was my instant first thought this morning. It's like, man, who are they going to get for Coach K's available. Let those rumors start.
How about we go back to the old school like they do in the 70s with like Lenny Wilkens or Bill Russell, and you have LeBron be the player coach, where he's the coach and the player on the court. They used to do that. Lenny Wilkens won a championship in Seattle in 1979. Of course, only I know that.
I mean, they've been bringing in ex-players just a couple years after they've been done playing now anyway. So why not just get a player at the end of his career?
Yeah.
Who are they going to bring? Like, who's a candidate other than like Coach K? I can't think of anyone.
And that's the thing, like, who do you bring in? My philosophy always is, well, then have a plan if you're going to make a change that big. Like, who's the guy that you want out there? And it's like, I don't know if there's a guy out there. And you bring up LeBron James. You know, I know Frank Vogel is the fall guy, right? He's the guy that's going to get bounced for having such a bad season with the Lakers. But a lot of people are pointing their finger at LeBron. He's the one that wanted this team to be built like this, and it just wasn't built to win. So, you know, if LeBron's the GM and the head coach, which maybe you could say he was this past season as well, it just didn't go very well.
Now, there is some odds out there. The top 3 names right now to get the Lakers head coach, David Fizdale, Quinn Snyder, and Doc Rivers are the top 3.
Really? Wow.
According to Sports Betting AG.
What if LeBron wants to leave? He said that he wouldn't mind playing with Steph.
LeBron is on this list at plus 15,000 odds.
Yeah, I like the long shot.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up Quinn Snyder, the Utah Jazz head coach. I've heard his name multiple times, even like weeks and months ago, that whenever Frank Vogel was done, whether it was the end of this year or next year, that like Quinn Snyder was that, he's not exactly young, but like a young, fresh face who's like really good, and he'd be a good fit for the Lakers. So I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But the Lakers will have their pick. I mean, a lot of coaches out there, that would be their dream job, right? To put, coach the purple and gold.
Then you also have like Phil Jackson, Coach K on this list, both at plus 10,000 odds. So not looking good for either one of those two. Let's just eliminate them now.
Okay.
But you're telling me there's a chance, is what you're saying.
But there is a chance.
Well, speaking of LeBron James, he did not win the NBA scoring title. And we kind of knew this going into the final weekend of the NBA regular season because he did not play enough games this season. You have to play 58 games to be eligible. He only played 56, but he did average over 30 points. But the NBA scoring champion will be Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers, and he's the first center to be your NBA scoring champion since a guy named Shaquille O'Neal played for the Lakers about, 22 years ago.
That's funny that there's a game minimum. Wouldn't it just matter how many points you have?
I mean, you would think so, but yeah, I guess they don't want one guy to go in there and just blow it up for games. And, I don't know exactly what they'd be trying to. Yeah, you figure with points scored, that's going to be a longevity thing. Yeah. The more games you're in there, the more you're going to score. If you could outscore people with less games, you think awesome. But I mean, a lot of stat records, they do have like a minimum requirement for you to have that stat.
How is it not Steph with all those threes he hits?
Well, I mean, did he sit out this year at all?
I mean, he must have, right? I mean, it just seems like he's scoring so much. I mean, what's that?
You know what? We're living in a time in the NBA where I feel like everybody's scoring. Like, I hear guys, I'm like, I've never heard of that guy, and he just dropped 40 last night. Like, so there's a lot of scoring in the NBA, not a lot of defense right now. But Joel Embiid, a big man who can shoot. In fact, you could say that the best players in the NBA right now are big men with Embiid, Giannis, Jokic with the Denver Nuggets. Like, we've got these big guys that have these incredible skill sets. They can shoot, they can pass, and of course they can play in the post. Like, they're just unbelievable players.
And that's what I like. Like, no offense to the Steph Currys of the world, but this small guy shooting from very far away, not fun basketball to watch. Like, get down in near the rim. That's where it's fun.
Right.
Get in the post and bang around, right? If you're a center, play like a center. And guys, to the NBA playoffs, they're set. We know who's going to play. And for the Clippers out there, they are in the play-in tournament. They will take the Minnesota Timberwolves. And if you're unfamiliar with this play-in tournament for the NBA playoffs, basically for the 7 versus the 8 seed, which the Clippers are the 8 and the Timberwolves are the 7, if you win, you're in. You're into the NBA playoffs. If you lose, you still get a second chance. The loser of that game will play the winner of the Spurs and Pelicans. So that's the scenario for the Clippers to get actually into the NBA playoffs.
You cannot whine about the NBA playoff system if you are an NBA team. You have so many opportunities to get into the playoffs. Half the league just makes it no matter what. And then they even have 2 chances on top of it.
So yeah, you can watch the Clippers tomorrow night and try to do that, right?
Clippers.
That's right, and I think they will. I think of those 4 teams in the play-in tournament, I feel like the Clippers are the best team. And I don't know, and I'm still holding out hope that we might see Kawhi Leonard at some point in the playoffs. And if he returns and he's healthy, that is not your typical number 7 seed. The Clippers will be very dangerous. I know the Phoenix Suns, who are the number 1 seed, are very, very good. Memphis came from out of nowhere. They're really good. Golden State will be tough, but the Clippers could be a tough out as well if Kawhi at some point can get back in the lineup. But I'm not holding my breath, but I still have a little bit of hope there.
Let's get Kawhi back in there. Repair that robot. He's going to run here.
He's the fun guy. To get the fun guy back out there for the playoffs.
He is the fun guy.
Speaking of the fun guy, man, I'm sure this guy's really enjoyed his Sunday night. That's Scotty Scheffler. He is your 2022 Masters champion. He won the green jacket at Augusta at 10 under par. Your boy Tiger Woods made the cut, which was great, and then things just unraveled on Saturday and Sunday for Tiger Woods. He finished at plus 13 for the tournament, but he made it all the way through, and he said he felt pretty good. Didn't have his best rounds of golf, obviously, on Saturday and Sunday, but he felt pretty good to play all 4 rounds of the tournament.
And not to be too surprised, but I mean, you could tell when he was starting to labor, and he knew he was on camera, so he's trying to walk. Well, either he's trying to get the greatest performance ever, but I mean, he's trying to walk as well as he can. You could tell he was laboring pretty freaking hard going into counting up his scorecard.
Yeah, I didn't really watch anything Saturday. By the time I came back to it on Sunday, it was like, all right, Tiger's basically out of it. No reason to watch him. So I just kind of, had it on in the background and saw a cool moment at the end where McIlroy chips in for birdie from the bunker, and then the guy he's playing with, Colin Morikawa, does the same exact thing from the same exact bunker. Just a cool moment.
Yeah, those are special shots.
Yeah, no, those are iconic shots at Augusta for sure. And congrats to Scotty Scheffler and for Tiger Woods. Again, a plus 6 on Saturday. I was like U40. I'm like, ooh, going into Sunday, he's too far out of range. I'm like, I will keep an eye on the scores, but I wouldn't be hanging around my TV like I would if Tiger was within 5 or 6 shots,
But he does deserve some credit for making the cut. There's a ton of huge names who did not make the cut perfectly healthy. So I mean, it just goes to show you that just making the cut that's a great goal for him.
Yeah, no, totally. For him to play all 4 rounds, to make the cut, I think was an accomplishment in itself. And I think it's, big things are still on the horizon for Tiger. It's okay, he can still play. He's still, one of the better golfers in the entire world. And he's probably only going to get better as he gets more healthy.
Yeah. DeChambeau, Koepka, no, they didn't make the cut.
No.
Those are big names.
Huge names in golf. And guys, it was also opening weekend across Major League Baseball. Here's your quick recap. The Astros taking 3 of 4 from the Angels. So, some things just, I guess, never change, right? Houston is beating up on the Angels. And the Dodgers actually lost 2 out of 3 on the road at the Rockies. Colorado, I think, might be pretty tough this season. So for our local SoCal teams, at least in Los Angeles, not the greatest opening weekend for the Halos and the Dodgers.
It just always seems like the Astros have the Angels' number. It's just one of those things.
We refuse to get rid of our trash cans. We don't want trash all over our stadium. We have to keep the trash cans, and we know what they do with those things.
Right, it is showtime.
Hey, who needs a cell phone when you got a trash can to communicate, right? I mean, who needs it? Hey, and one quick pep quiz question on this Monday morning. There is only one team after opening weekend that is undefeated in Major League Baseball. Who is that team?
Boy, that's a good question. I have no idea.
Yeah, you're not going to get me guessing. I have no clue.
The good old Tampa Bay Rays. They swept the Baltimore Orioles, and that's the only team. There's only one team in baseball that is undefeated. That's Tampa Bay. And there's only one team in baseball that does not have a win, and that's the Baltimore Orioles. Everyone else went like 2-1 or 1-2. It's actually a pretty competitive opening weekend.
When did Tampa Bay become the sports city of the whole country all of a sudden?
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The Lightning have won like 2 championships in the recent years. Like they're just dominating everything.
Tampa Bay. They got the rest of the league has plenty of time to turn it around. Pep, tell them how to get your stuff.
Hey, you can get our stuff at Inland Sports, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel. You can check it out.
Thanks, Pep.